Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. A legendary chart analyst and trader is questioning if XRP could become the new leader in the world of crypto. And it's so fascinating to see somebody that's been doing this stuff for decades, since before the crypto asset class existed, coming around recognizing, hey, maybe there's really more than a little bit to this XRP thing. And so I want to talk a bit about that, and that's fascinating. And, the last bit of information that I'm aware of from him having to do with XRP was rather neutral. It wasn't bad, but it was a long, long time ago, and something has happened, and he's aware of what's going on right now. He's certainly paying attention. But this guy came up with a key metric, which we in the XRP community paid a lot of attention to last year. And it did indicate when the breakout was happening. Let me show you guys and talk about exactly what he's saying here. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so remember headlines like these from April of last year, 2024? This is from the Crypto Basic at the time. Analyst reveals XRP breakout signal as monthly Bollinger Bands tightens to historical levels. And so this is the guy we're talking about, John Bollinger, the creator of Bollinger Bands. And I'm not going to read through the article. I just want to make sure that everybody's caught up to speed and everybody understands the significance of this, because this is one of the major things we were looking at. We were waiting for expansion of this particular metric to indicate that XRP was about to absolutely blow up, and that is indeed what happened. I talked about it throughout the entire freaking year, and tons of chart analysts were highlighting that. In fact, Charting Guy is one of them, and he was referenced in that article. Here you can see a post from Charting Guy, excuse me, April 16th of last year. He shared this XRP USD chart, and XRP was 49 cents at the time, when not so many people were happy to pay attention to it, though that's changed, hasn't it? And here's what he wrote. XRP monthly Bollinger Bands are now the tightest they've ever been in history. 0.7 for the width. The tightest it got before this was 0.73 in 2017, 1 month before, and then he shared the little rocket ship emoji, and then he sarcastically wrote, probably nothing. Now, what's interesting, a couple things. So first, let me note this. So here's 2017. You can see the upper band, which is this blue line, the lower band, which is this blue line. And then you can see at the moment that it started to expand, that's what that indicator does. That's when XRP went. Now, this metric in and of itself, it doesn't indicate just because that it's narrowing. That doesn't mean for sure that whatever asset you're looking at, whether it's cryptocurrency or a stock, it doesn't mean it's going to move to the upside, but it does mean you're going to get a forceful move when it finally breaks. The tighter it gets, the greater the force of the move, right? That's the key takeaway. And so I kept insisting throughout the year, given that we're in a bull market and XRP can only be artificially suppressed for so long, it's going to break to the upside when it finally does. And so here you can see in 2017 what happened. They got the tightest in history at that moment, and then it just rocketed. And then look at how that breadth just opened up for this metric. And it got pretty narrow for last cycle too, but not like the cycle before that. Of course, there was artificial interference from the United States government via the SEC, so that might have had something to do with it. But still, it did get narrow, and finally, when it started to open up, you can see the price moving in. But then this cycle was interesting. So at this point, we know XRP's got legal clarity. Skies are blue. Everything's fine, right? Narrowest Bollinger Bands in history for the entire chart, for the entire existence of XRP. And so that was a big deal. So I remember talking about that quite a bit. But to highlight the degree to which we were right, I mean, that can be seen in November of 2024. Here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. Analysts confirm XRP Bollinger Bands expanding after 19 months of contraction. A massive rally incoming. And so what happened was, even though they were the tightest in history in April of last year, they got tighter for close to another half a year before they finally expanded. It literally took that long until we got to November. It just kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And so the whole time I'm like, guys, I know it hasn't happened yet, but it means something's going to happen. And this is the biggest consolidation in crypto history over 7 years for XRP. What do you think it means? Well, the great Matsby knew what it meant. Here's a post from him November 12th of 2024. XRP had sort of a tiny pop up to 73 cents, but here you can see the blue line starting to break just in, from the top one to the upside, the bottom one to the downside, which of course would happen the cycle before and the cycle before that. And so he noticed that, and XRP price was up a little bit, but you can't tell just because of the price, because there had been instances throughout consolidation where XRP price was in that range, a little bit higher. But so he looked at this, he saw where XRP price was, he saw what's happening with the Bollinger Bands, and he posted the following on November 12th. This is not a test. XRP has monthly Bollinger Band expansion for the first time in years. This looks like the real deal, everyone. And oh yes, it was the real deal. After years and years and years of waiting and having to put up with a bunch of stupid-ass bullshit from toxic Bitcoin maximalists, it happened. It actually happened. And then it had a local peak on December 2nd at $2.90. It ran for close to a month. And then it went down a little bit and consolidated, and then it rocketed up a bit again to a new all-time high, January 16th, around $3.39. Depends on which exchange you're looking at, but around there. And down a little bit since then, consolidating. I still don't think it's done, though. We haven't seen the face-melting portion of this rally. I do believe that's coming. But it's so fascinating, pretty damn cool to see that metric, which we used in the XRP community, as one of the things we looked at to say, hey, this thing's going to blow. And to see the guy that created that now happening to have come around to XRP, I just think it's kind of neat. So that gets us to this headline, Legendary Trader Bollinger on XRP. Will it become new leader? Legendary Trader. Oh, by the way, I got to mention, there's a couple hilarious typos in here. Look, I like this website, You Today. They seem to be operating in good faith, and they come up with some stories that you don't see anywhere else. There's some good things about them, but when you're talking about professional writing, I wouldn't put them at like the top of the list, let's say. I think that they type something and then they don't read it, and then it goes to the internet for us to consume. I think that's what happens here. I still like them, but I got to tease them a little bit. So anyway, reads as follows. Legendary trader John Bollinger has suggested that the Ripple-linked XRP cryptocurrency could become a new market leader in his recent social media post. And this is hilarious. Using a vivid metaphor sourced from Green Mythology, Green, Green Mythology. You guys follow Green Mythology? Bollinger has noted that the major altcoin has, quote, resisted the recent signing of the Siren's best song, end quote. In one damn sentence, obviously they mean Greek mythology, and they don't mean resisted the recent signing, it's resisted the recent singing of the Siren's best song. Bunch of C students up in this bitch. A bunch of goddamn C students. That's what we got to work with here. Anyway, this is the first time that Bollinger has weighed in on XRP's price action in years. Back in 2018, he said that he did not know enough about the token to have an opinion about its future. And look, I say fair enough. If you don't know something specific about it, you just say you don't know something specific about it. I'm glad he wasn't ideologically captured by the toxic Bitcoin maximalists out there, at least. And some people, I think they jump into crypto and they just feel like if they don't hate on everything like the loud voices, which are the Bitcoin maximalists, then they're not going to get to be part of the cool crowd. There probably are people that actually feel like that. I saw those people screaming and I was disappointed. I was like, those are a bunch of damn fools. Those are a bunch of idiots. And I did not join. I don't consider myself part of the Bitcoin community because there's too many people like that. I like Bitcoin. I hold Bitcoin. I've been holding it since 2017. I do not want to be associated with those humans. I use the term humans very loosely there. Anyway, last month, the prominent chartist who is primarily known for inventing the widely used Bollinger Bands indicator also rejected the idea that Bitcoin was in a bear market. So, better times yet ahead. Pretty cool stuff, though, right? To see somebody like that who was, kind of crucial for us in the community, like the metric he created, giving us additional, very meaningful confidence that we were right and that was going to happen. Just to see, and here's the actual post, I'll pull it up. Just to see that is pretty damn cool. And so he did share this with his 234,800 followers on X. Here's what it actually is. The full thing is, of all the major crypto vehicles, Ripple resist. He means XRP. I don't think he knows enough to know that, so I'm not going to give him a hard time. But he wrote, of all the major crypto vehicles Ripple resisted, the recent singing of the siren song best. Will it become the new leader? Depends on what you mean by that, but I sure as hell think that it's going to substantially outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm I would not be surprised if that's the case. And Mikey Bull Crypto, by the way, he responded to John Bollinger here. He's one of the many analysts that did accurately call that XRP was going to break to the upside. He shared this chart, XRP USD, and he wrote, looking strong and ready. And I saw him share this chart in a separate post. And in that, he was calling for XRP to get to $5 to $10 this cycle. And he's not promising that's going to be the peak. That could just end up being conservative. But he's optimistic that we're going to be in that range. Which, yeah, I mean, there's a good chance we look back like, okay, that was pretty conservative. I hope that's the case anyway. But not unreasonable, and he wouldn't be surprised if it goes higher. So, just saying, folks, the best is yet ahead. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.